All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Quadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. This is Brother Quanawat come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will, straight to the point. Hey, but we're in those times, man. As you see right here on peoplesvoice.tv, Esau, man, making them moves, man. It says Canada rolls out social credit system. Non-compliant citizens will have bank accounts frozen, and this is coming, as you see right here, March 23rd. I don't know, obviously, whether it was, midday or, but I'm assuming it came out, just before, the Passover, man, and this is something that Esau is doing behind scenes, it's lucky, I'm a little stuffed up, man. These allergies kind of getting to me, but it says Canada rolls out social credit system. Non-compliant citizens will have bank accounts frozen. Right, which is all part of Esau Edom's agenda, right? 2 Corinthians, matter of fact, let's grab it. I quote it all the time. Might as well grab it, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And when you go into that word devices, right, it goes into evil plans or schemes, right? Let's grab it here in the blue letter. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. Lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. That word divided, Strong's G 3540, right? It says an evil purpose, right? Perception, purpose, an evil purpose, right? His plans, his schemes, his plots, right? We understand, what he's doing when he makes moves. Right, we know what is geared towards. Right, it says Canada has rolled out a new social credit score system that will see non-compliant citizens have their bank accounts frozen if their score falls below acceptable levels, man. And this is something that China has ultimately implemented. And going back to the WEF, right, World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, I want to say a year ago, right, a little less than a year ago, had made statements that China is the one to follow. Right, China is that example. Right, that the rest of the world should ultimately follow in, man. It says, in the aftermath of the trucker convoy, the Trudeau regime is radicalizing the nation's banking system to make it impossible for citizens to express their opposition to government tyranny. Right, man. And this is why you're seeing everything starting to go digital, right? So that Esau Edom, right, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, can have control over everything, man. This is what it's all about. He wants to be able to have control over, and he's put the that in a lot of movies, right? One in particular, the cartoon, I think it was I can't remember. It was like the Dr. Seuss one where he was making needs or whatever it was, like scarves, and he tore down the forest and this, that, and the third, and ended up building a small city, right? And they were selling air. Right, Esau wants to control how much you breathe. Right, Esau wants to control what you buy. Esau wants to control, literally everything. Right, where you go, why are you going there? And this is why he's creating these 15-minute cities. Which there's one, here in Tempe, Arizona. Right, it's called Cul-de-sac. Right, that's the name of the little town. It's called Cul-de-sac, which they're in process of establishing it now. Which brothers have gone and drove by and seen it. Everything. It's like we're talking about, like everything's within walking distance. And it's not very big, but this is why how society is moving, right? Again, goes back into the control, right? This is what they want, right? It says naturalnews.com reports proponents of the social credit score linked banking paradigm says it will make Canadian banks more inclusive, allowing them to easily access user data on demand while being able to share information with one another, right? Collecting data, right? Which they've been doing. Right, Esau's been, tracking us, through, social media sites, through, our phones, right? Tracking our location, so on and so forth, man. Esau's been tracking that, man. Let's grab this in Psalms 52, right? Because this is Esau, right? Esau is a hunter, man, So this is Esau, a form of Esau's hunting, This is Psalms 52 and verse, Psalms 56. And verse 6, it says, they gather themselves together, they hide themselves, they mark my steps when they wait for my soul. So they're tracking and tracing, all of us, man. And again, they've been putting in many movies, man. One I like to quote, is Fast and the Furious, right? Whether it's Fast 6, Fast 7, or whatever it is, man, or even Fast 5. They have something in there called God's Eye when they ultimately try to track, the actor's name is Jason Statham, right? When he's the bad guy, right? They're tracking him and they go to fight, or they go to try to find him. And they're using a system called God's Eye, which literally sees and hears everything, that what everyone does and anywhere that everyone goes, man. As long as it has a camera, as long as it has a microphone, or a speaker or whatever it is, right? You can either hear, listen, speak, or see, what people are doing, This is Esau Edom. This is what he's about, right? It says a World Bank partner called Open Banking Excellence, right, OBE, which originated in the UK, is proudly boasting right now that it will incorporate social credit scores with people's banking information in Canada. Canadians will likely receive digital cash and identifications on a convenient, all-in-one and inclusive place, right? So this is what Esau does, right? He sits there and he makes it, right, as convenient as possible, right? And he sells it to people, right? Because we're in a world, right, that's based off of convenience, man, right? You got convenience stores, you got fast food and all these different things, right? Because again, people play on convenience. Hell, Esau got people even lazier, right? And wanting more convenience when the scamdemic happened, man, when he was giving everybody free money, those stimmies, and hell, they were giving people or they were allowing people to get lap dances and shit like that, right? In their car, or they were able to see it, from their car, man. So it's like, man, you don't even gotta, you could pull up, pay what you gotta pay, sit in your car, and you get that. It's like, come on, man. All these people, they want convenience, man. And Esau has made it to where convenience is a hot commodity. All right. So he's going to play on, people, wanting that convenience, man. People will pay for that, man. And that's why convenience is so expensive, but again, right, Esau, that bribery, it says right here, it says it's all about having that fairer, more inclusive, more open society, right? And then those fair words, right? It says, said OBE founder Helen Child, making sure to use all the popular buzzwords to make her project sound like a dream come true for the world, right? And that's, again, going back into that bribery, right? Psalms 55 and verse 21, it says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. I made everything sound real cool, real smooth, real easy, right? Convenient, right? You don't really have to do all the extra. It's just there for you, It says what? But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So he's got an ulterior motive, man. Right? There's always something behind what this damn devil is saying, right? So if it sounds, with Esau, if it sounds too good to be true, and guess what? It's too good to be true, man. That's how this damn devil moves, man. Going back to it, right? It says moving towards a cashless society. Disturbingly, OBE already operates in 40 different countries. So this is something that's been going on, man. And now this is being, because I've never heard about this, right? OBE, right? Until just now, So this is something that's been going on behind scenes. This is something that Esau's been working on, right? Behind scenes, right? Nobody's paying attention, right? And now it's starting to actually come out, Because we're in that time, right? We're in the time where Jacob's trouble is about to pop off and Esau about to come in like a flood and force the masses, right, to take this charagma, which is the RFID micro C hit, man. You know, it says claiming that it aims to create exceptional platforms and content that promotes knowledge sharing, new thinking, and partnerships within the industry, catalyzing the adoption of open finance and data for better financial inclusion worldwide. So again, back to that, him trying to make it sound real good, right? That it's, it's all about inclusivity, right? But everybody's included, you know what I mean? It kind of, makes a, one-stop shop kind of thing, man, making it sound too good to be true. Again, if it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true, right? It says Child's use of the term open society is also disturbing in that it is the ideology championed by international billionaire agitator George Soros, right? It says it implies open borders, no more prisons, and out-of-control crime without punishment, which is all these things that America's leading towards, right? So, again, they've been cutting the police, right? They're making it to where, from 3 to 7, in Pittsburgh, right, that there's not going to be any police. And if you have any issues over the weekend, hey, you're going to have to wait, right? They're going to direct you if it's a so-called non-serious, crime, or whatever it is. They're going to direct you to a phone call, right? And let it happen over the weekend. You're going to have to wait till Monday, man. So Friday at 3:01 a.m., or going into Saturday at 3:01 a.m., let something happen. You're going to have to call that service, and you're going to have to wait 2 more days, man, in order to get to somebody. Or for somebody to help you, man. By that time, if the event is super serious, hey, well, that person can double back on you. If they just robbed you, they can double back on you and kill you. So that way you can't give your testimony come Monday, man. Slack you. Slack you. So really, it's just, it's really a dystopia that Esau is ultimately trying to build, man. It says out of control crime without punishment, which is something down in Louisiana that they're doing, man. They decriminalized or made it to where, certain crimes, right, are not punishable. Or if you do commit these crimes, they might take you, book you, and then release you. And that's it, right? And it could be, again, something such as burglary, right, assault, things of the nature, man. Violent crimes, man, right? It says all of this substantiating progressive changes for the world, right? It says how forcing Canadians and others around the world to maintain high social credit scores in order to buy and sell constitutes inclusivity and fairness remains unknown. OBE officials and other proponents of the construct never really say. That's right, man, because again, it's all about, Esau having that control, man, Let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4, hitting the point. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. That's right, man. Right. So Esau believes that, he can establish himself, as, as the Most High. And, Esau has ultimately said, actually, recently, it was the World Economic Forum that came out with a Twitter post or an X post, whatever you want to call it. I still call it Twitter. A Twitter post saying that they are the gods of the earth, which makes sense, right? They are the rulership, but we understand that what they're talking about, man. Esau is trying to set himself up as the Most High because that's, his mentality, his pride, is lifted up so high that he believes that he can set himself up as the Most High, and control all things, right? And he's going to do that, right? And try to set himself up by way of this charagma, right? Him dishing out and getting everybody on board with this charagma. And if he was if he was allowed to fully establish his NWO, he would have full control over that, right? He would be able to track and trace, everybody and be able to look at everything, which we understand the Lord's not going to allow his, his enterprise to flourish. But nonetheless, this is what Esau's trying to do, man. And again, it goes back, right, to Revelation, the 13th chapter. And we'll read this, right? And we'll read the rest of this article, grab a couple more precepts, and then close out, right? It says Revelation 13, and I'll start at verse 14. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And that's ultimately going into, Rome 2.0, which is America, right? The reincarnation of the fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire. America is the reincarnation of the Roman Empire, right? Again, Rome 2.0, as I stated, right? And those miracles are going into the, when Esau, which we're seeing them now, right? Esau has given, this brain C-hip, right? And there was a lady who was able to, have an avatar, they put the C-hip in her head, and she couldn't speak. She was paralyzed, right? Completely paralyzed. But with the C-hip in her head, she can have an avatar on the screen and would have full-fledged conversations, man. There was information on a dude who came out that with his mind, he was able to play video games, man. There was a dude who had the C-hip and he was quadriplegic or paraplegic, right? From I think that's the one, right? I could be mistaken. I get those two mixed up, right? I think quadriplegic is from the neck down and paraplegic is from the hips down. And he was, paralyzed from the hips down, and with the C-hip, right, it allowed for that connection, right, to happen, right? His that nervous system to reconnect, and now he's able to walk, man, with a little bit of help, right? So these are all the miracles, right, that Esau is doing right before our eyes right now, man. And he's doing it by way of the C-hip, man. The RFID micro C-hip, right, which is, another way that he's, trying to bribe and convince the masses to take this, man, right? Starting with the elderly or the disabled, and then on to those, that see these so-called miracles, man, which really these are just lying wonders, man, Salakia, man. It says, verse 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That's right, man. And when you go into that word killed, it goes into the Greek word apokteno, right? Which means to be to kill. But when you look up the root word apo, it goes back to being what? Right? To be separated by physical distance. So you having, this system, right, that Esau Edom's trying to set up, right, and you have a bad credit score, you're not going to be able to buy and sell. So what's going to happen is you're going to be removed from society, right? You're going to be removed from participating in society, right? This is what Esau Edom wants, and even Klaus Schwab came out and stated that you're gonna need a micro C-hip in order to participate in society. This is something that he recently said, man. So it's not far-fetched, right? This is lining up, right, with prophecy. Everything that's happening is lining up with prophecy, and eventually, right, your social credit score could be, trash, and you continue to go against society. Esau might just take you out, right, because now you're affecting, right, others in his society, I'll keep going. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a MARK in their right hand or in their foreheads, which again is that when you go into that word MARK, right, which I'm not going to say, Esau's got algorithms going on, but when you go into the Greek word of that word, it goes into what? Charagma, right, which ultimately goes into something that is to be inserted, right, something that is to be, in a sense, injected into somebody, which is, again, they use that syringe, right, that they're going to inject, this charagma within you, man. That's what it's going into, and it goes deeper than that, right? It says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the MARK or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So this is what it's all about. This is why Esau's rolling it out, man. It's according to prophecy. Now Esau believes he's, doing it to establish his NWO, but all he's doing is fulfilling prophecy, man. That's it. That's all he's doing, man. It's fulfilling prophecy. Let's go back to this article. And there's not too much left. We're just going to read the rest, right? It says it drives financial inclusion is all child will say about the scheme. It's the democratizing data. It says what we can clearly see from all this is that child has her eyes on all the gold her data collection scheme will add to her financial stockpile, right? It says data of the kind her group collects in order to populate social credit scores is value after all, especially as the world descends into a cashless abyss. And there's been talk about a lot more cities, saying no to cash, right? Whole cities, major stores within these cities saying no more cash, going completely digital, man. It says there is no easier way to control the masses than to control their access to money and their ability to buy, trade, and freely move about. So again, it goes back to the control. And you're seeing even now with these major banks, right? What is it? Wells Fargo, Bank of America, U.S. Bank, Chase Bank, and many other banks, right? PNC, major banks, removing branch locations, removing ATMs, right? They're taking people's money, putting people in very, very desperate situations, which is what Esau wants, right? He has a thing called order ab chaos, right? Order out of chaos. So he's doing all these things, right? Creating that chaos, putting people in a desperate position, right? Putting people in a position to need a solution, right? This is what he's doing. He's putting people in a position to where they need a solution. And Esau's going to play, even though right now he's playing the bad guy, he's going to put himself in the position to play the good guy. When in reality, he created the problem so he can make himself look like the good guy, even though he's the bad guy all the way around, man. It says, fucking Jake, man. It says the Canadian press came right out and just said what Child is clearly thinking, explaining that one of the biggest areas of growth in the financial sector has to do with credit assessments. Under open banking, lenders could directly access an individual's banking data so they can look beyond credit scores, right? It says the press explained consumers can also use it to build their credit scores, for example, by providing reliable rent payments, So again, they're trying to boast it up, right? Trying to make it, hey, we'll up your credit. With this new system, it'll build your credit, right? You'll get better credit. And we know, hey, Jake is going to play into that, man. Jake is going to eat that up because Jake has shitty ass credit, right? This whole credit system wasn't built for us, It wasn't built for us to thrive and build off of, man. And this is why, Jake, right, when they come in, they first start establishing credit, your credit score is extremely low. Versus the the Edomites, man, when they start building credit, their credit is at a decent position, man. 650, right? Jake was started like 400, 450, man. If that, so it's not built for us, But again, Jake seeing that, it's like, oh, it's gonna help my credit. Oh, hell yeah, man, I can get what I want. But again, that's just Esau again bribing Jake, and Jake is simple-minded, man. So they're gonna eat this up, man. It says, in other words, the goal is to assess something beyond just one's credit score in order to determine whether he or she is worthy to participate in the new global economy that the globalists are unleashing, right? The NWO, right? It says, keep in mind that Canada is big on prosecuting hate speech. One can only imagine how people found guilty of committing hateful anything will be dinged on their social credit scores, disallowing their participation in anything commerce and finance related. It happened during the trucker convoy, and it will happen. Compliments of OBE and its inclusive financial schemes, right, man? Right, so we understand what's going on, man. We understand what Esau is doing, right? This is all building and leaning towards Revelation, the 13th chapter, right, where Esau Edom is going to force the masses, right, as it says, right, to make, right, when you go into that word in the Greek, it goes into what? To force, right, or to require one, right, to take what? The charagma, man. Otherwise, you're going to be excommunicated from society and or literally killed, man. This is the time that we are in, right? And this is why we have to stay vigilant and stay sober, right? Because the end of all things is at hand, as it says in 1 Peter 4:7. But I'm going to end it with the Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Habakkuk chapter 2. And I'll start at verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. That's right, man. So what the prophets are doing, right, the watchers, the seers, what they're doing, again, the true watchers, the true seers, the true prophets, beginning with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, you know, to the men that came under them, pushing that same doctrine and truth and sincerity, right? What are they doing, right? They're watching, right? Looking and seeing all these different articles and different events that are taking place, right? And giving it to the people, right? And explaining it and showing the people, right, really the elect of the nation of Israel, because that's who the message is going to be received by, right? The elect of the nation of Israel, right? But nonetheless, the message is going out to the whole world about the things that are coming, about what's happening and why these things are taking place, right? Warning the people, man, you know, making it easy to be understood, man, right? Coupling the events that are happening, right, with the scriptures, man. You know, proving that we're in the time of prophecy, man, as we always have been, right? Verse 3, here's the point. It says, for the vision, right, which that word vision goes into prophecy, right? So let's replace it, right? So for the prophecy is yet for an appointed time. And what prophecy? Right? The prophecy of Jacob's trouble, the prophecy of Revelations 13 and 16, where Esau is going to force the masses to take this charagma. And we're seeing everything starting to speak, right? It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and it's speaking, man. All right, we're seeing these articles, right? It's different, you know, comments that are made by these higher ups, right? And different, you know, policies and, you know, different infrastructure being set up, right? Which are geared for the charagma. Again, just proves that, the charagma is the RFID micro CHIP, and that we are in the time of Revelations 13 and 16, man, right? It says, at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And we're in that time, man, right? So stay vigilant, stay sober, you know. Hey, we're almost out of here, man. Yahweh Shemel Shai is about to have everything pop off real soon, man, you know. But that's all I got, man. I just want to speak on that, man. Lord Will was edifying. Lord Will straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Wadash, that belongs to the elder apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Till next time, I say shalom.